You guys are having a fantastic Tuesday. We're going to be talking a little bit more about the draft. A little bit, we got two more undrafted free agents got brought on, and a little bit more about tight end. So let's jump into this just a little bit more. What is up, Finn fans? Again, hope you guys are having a fantastic Tuesday. It does suck. This is the time of the week when you're working that 9 to 5 that you're like, don't worry. Tomorrow, hump day, and then it's downhill. Boom, weekend. You're getting there. You're getting there. Hope you're having a good day and all that stuff. So, yeah, we're going to talk about two undrafted free agents were brought in. Talk a little bit more about the tight end position. There's some free agents that are still out there I did not talk about. And kind of what the media is saying about our draft, right? Because I gave you my opinion, and then we looked at some other things on draft. And now I'm going to tell you what Mel Kiper and all these guys are saying about our draft, because it's, there's some people who hated it because we didn't get need. There's some people who liked it because they understand that you reach for need to get Austin Jackson. So we're going to talk about that a little bit more. But let me talk to you about two undrafted free agents we brought in James Tunstall, Cincinnati offensive tackle, and Keirdron Smith, a Kentucky defensive back. Brought those two guys in, which puts us at 21 undrafted free agents, plus the 68 that we have from our 4 draft picks and then the free agents and everyone else that's on the roster. We're now sitting at 89 players on the roster. We have spot for one more. Now, again, that doesn't mean that if the Dolphins are like, okay, we kind of want to add 2 offensive linemen, they're going to be like, well, we can only add 1. Precedence takes over, some of these players. So, but right now we're sitting at 89 players on the roster. You need 90, and that's your limit. So we got 1 open spot left. So I want to give you an update on those two guys. Tight ends, right? Right now we have 5 tight ends under contract. We have Durham Smythe, Sorbert, Connor, Higgins, and Hill, the undrafted free agent. And yes, he is under contract. We gave him I think 85,000 guaranteed. I said it in yesterday's video. So we have 5 tight ends under contract. But that doesn't mean that the Dolphins won't add more. Like I talked to you about yesterday and said the quote, they're not done adding vets, right? So I looked at, because yesterday I looked at the free agents that are out there and I was like, but I didn't really dive deeper into it until today. And there's a few out there, right? Some of these guys are up there in age, like Cameron Brate, 31. Sathan Carter, Adam Shaheen. These are still young guys. Could they come back? Possibly. But I don't know. Kyle Rudolph, he's 33 though. You have Jesse James. Jesse James intrigues me. Out of all of them, the ones that you could see happening, Kyle Rudolph would be a nice addition, but again, he's 33. Jesse James, to me, for some reason, I really forgot about him. Because you have Mercedes Lewis, who's 38. Like I said, Kyle Rudolph, 33. Cameron Brate, 31. And then Jesse James, 28. I forgot about Jesse James. Maybe kick the tires on that, Miami. You have Max Williams, 29. McCole Pruitt, 31. And then you have a bunch of guys who are young, but they're just... You're not going to add them. They're not going to do anything substantial. So for me, I'll add to yesterday that I said possible free agents the Dolphins could add post-draft. Jesse James, throw him in there. Give him a contract, give him a 1-year contract, the vet minimum. He's only 28, and he did pretty well with the Steelers, so give him a try. Kick those tires down the road. So those are quick little tidbits I wanted to get to before we got to the meat of the matter and to the title of the video, which is probably Miami Dolphins draft grade to the media or something. I don't know I don't know what I title these videos until I'm editing. And then I'm like, okay, let's write that title down. So real quick though, I want to show you guys something. Now, Ma'am Benjamin on Twitter was posting charts and data and stats about, who had reaches, who got value in their draft picks and all that stuff. And I noticed again, it's different from the other chart where I showed you, we were 8th in value. And he posted a chart, and it had the Dolphins high again. It had the Dolphins very high. And then I was like, more data showing Miami actually had a good draft, got good value. Who would have thought? I wouldn't have thought, because we were eighth. Again, we were eighth for, the value. And he tweeted back at me. He tweeted back at me this image, right? And he said, so few picks, got nice value with each pick, which is important when you have so few of them, which is weird thing to say about the Dolphins in recent years, because we've been stockpiling up on picks. But he's not wrong. You have 4 picks. You have to hit on those picks. If not, you're screwed. And the Dolphins, if you can see by this chart, got steals. 3 of the 4 picks are steals. Ryan Hayes, our last pick, was a steal, 69.7%. Devon Achane was a steal, 42.8%. And Cam Smith was a steal, 22.1%. And then Elijah Higgins was kind of a reach. I'm pretty sure we all would have wanted Zach Kuntz at that point. And, they took Elijah Higgins. For whatever reason, they decided on that, by all means. Because if we would have took Zach Kuntz there, probably all steals. All steals. But that just shows, like I said, we had certain perspectives. Oh, we need offensive linemen and tight end, tackle tight end. And I was even part of that. But again, if you reach for needs, you end up with Charles Harris. You end up with Austin Jackson. You end up with all these players that we could have gotten later, right? So that's where we transition into what the media and the experts and the analysts are saying about what the Dolphins draft was, right? So let me actually, you know what? Instead of me just reading it to you guys, we're going to do this. We're going to look at it together. So this is what Mel Kiper had to say. He gave the Dolphins a B. I gave the Dolphins around a B minus. Miami entered the draft with just 4 picks, the fewest in the league, and it had already filled its biggest role via March trade for Jalen Ramsey. This is a really solid team, though its success hinges on a great deal on the health of quarterback Tua Tagovailoa. Yes, who was in the MVP discussion before concussions caused him to miss 5 games. I agree. I think if his concussion never happened against the Packers, I think he would have been more in discussion, and I think the Dolphins would have won a playoff game. I wanted to see the Dolphins get immediate help somewhere, and I love the first 2 picks. Cornerback Cam Smith, excellent in zone in college. He locked down SEC wide outs. Running back Devon Achane could be one of the steals of the draft. He should be a preseason rookie of the year watch list. What? Achane is super fast in his ability to in the pass game. What's not to like? Ryan Hayes is my 15th ranked offensive tackle. I was surprised he lasted that late. His 2022 tape is very solid. This class was handcuffed by the forfeited first round pick, but general manager Chris Greer landed 2 tremendous players on day 2. Okay. What? I haven't read this. If you can tell by my reaction, I haven't read this. Rookie of the year for Devon Achane and Cam Smith shutting down SEC wide receivers in a zone coverage that Vic Fangio is going to run? What else do we got here? Football Focus gave the Dolphins a B- with the comments, Smith is always around the football, has a propensity. I'm surprised I got that word out. For pass breaks-ups and tested faster than he played on tape, which could be a sign of continuing growth. No one's big board ranked dropped more precipitously. Why do they got I got the word out, but come on. Over the last month of the pre-draft cycle, but he could end up being a value. Smith makes a lot of sense starting in the slot with Jalen Ramsey, Xavier Howard out wide, and Vic Fangio's loaded defense. Miami got another legit track star for their offense by taking Texas A&M running back Devon Achane at 84. Achane clocked a 4.32 40 time, was a star member of the Augie's track squad. He racked up a whopping 36 breakaway runs of 15 plus yards over the past 2 seasons. Higgins is a bit of a tweener between being a big wide receiver and a move tight end. at 6'3", 239 with 4.54 speed. He was an underneath target at Stanford who turned in PFF grade, receiving grade below 70 in each of the past 2 seasons as a starter. Despite his size, Higgins ranks in just the 26th percentile at the position in contested catches since 2021. It's not a bad idea for Dolphins to throw a late rounder dart at an offensive lineman, given their struggles up front in recent years. Hayes took a step forward in 2022, grading out above 50 percentile at the position and pass blocking grade on true pass sets and on zone blocking. So you can see the difference between Pro Football Focus and Mel Kiper. Pro Football Focus is like, they're all right. They got a good guy in Smith, and, Devon A-Chain is going to do really good, and then Higgins, and then, whereas flipping Mel Kiper says Ryan Hayes is my 15th ranked offensive lineman. I was surprised he lasted that late. His tape was solid. All right. Then NFL.com Chad Reuter gave the Dolphins a B-, adding Miami forfeited its first round pick and has yet to see what it truly has on edge Bradley Chubb, who was acquired with the first round gain from the 49ers. Smith could be a nice nickel defender early in his career, and head coach Mike McDaniel will surely figure out how to use A-Chain speed. Miami's 4th and 6th round picks to Kansas City for Tyreek Hill's trade. The Dolphins found 2 offensive players with their remaining picks, with Higgins moving from receiver to tight end in the NFL due to his size and Hayes protecting a swing tackle for he didn't say much. The 33rd team, a think tank launched by executive Mike Tannenbaum and others, Cam needs to add weight to his frame, but he is twitchy, athletic corner with speed and good instincts. Scouts love his feet and his top level. They didn't give a grade. Change of direction, which is overall football awareness. He should be able to adapt to the NFL quickly. As a rookie, A-Chain is a great fit for Dolphins scheme. A home run hitter. Higgins is a big body slot receiver who plays with good physical and toughness. He's a good route runner. Hayes is a highly intelligent player that needs to add some strength to his frame. He lacks great strength and he plays sada-ba-da-ba. The website gave a B- to Smith pick, a B to A-Chain. The 33rd team has a group of 5 former NFL scouts or personnel executives who assess draft prospects. Okay, so they gave us a solid B, I guess you could say. Sports News gave the Dolphins the 18th best grade of the 32, pretty much almost in the middle, and a B-. The Dolphins cannot finish higher than this because they did something stupid to flush away their first rounder and had limited draft capital otherwise with some big recent trades. Smith is great value, but it's for a position of strength. A-Chain can excel in Mike McDaniel's system, but in short term, also feels a bit superfluous. Listen, you sounding pretentious. Let me throw these words at you. You sound a little pretentious when you're writing about football and you use words like superfluous. I'm going to be dead honest with you. I had no idea how to say that. I'll put the clip in of me looking up how to pronounce that word.
Superfluous.
Superfluous? You kidding me? These guys using these huge words. Football fans are going to be reading this. Good luck pronouncing this word. Superfluous. After the team re-signed both Raheem Mostert and Jeff Wilson, my man, they ain't done. Who is this? Sports News? They ain't done. You think it's superfluous that they drafted A-Chain? You're going to think it's super superfluous when they trade for, there you go. When they trade for Dalvin Cook. You're going to be like, that's the superest of superfluousness. Overall, the Dolphins did solid, right? We didn't have a first because our owner's a big idiot. And I've had people come and comment when I've said he's a big idiot. Well, how are you going to knock him for trying to make the team better? And how are you going to knock him for, wanting the team to win? By waiting for Tom Brady to be free agent. All the teams do it. Yeah, and if other teams jump off a bridge, you're going to do it? You cost us a first-round pick. I will say this, though. The Patriots were caught cheating, and the Patriots were caught cheating multiple times, and they never had to give up a first-round pick. So I think it's a little BS that the Dolphins, even Andy Reid with the Chiefs, got caught tampering with Jeremy Macklin, and they didn't have to give up a first-round pick. So why do the Dolphins have to do it? I'm just saying. There's some superfluousness going on there. I don't even know. But yeah, overall, I don't think that's wrong. I think we got a lot of value in our picks, and we'll see where that goes. Comment below. Let me know what you guys think. And I reached out to you guys on Twitter, and I said, hey, who wants to be part of comment of the day? I'm recording my video, and I'm going to go pick one right now. It comes from Steven, and he says, who would have been our first-round pick this year based on who we selected this year if Ross didn't screw the team's pick? And I just pulled up what was drafted, and when the Dolphins would have drafted in between Seattle and Los Angeles, and Seattle took Jackson Smith and Jigba. You guys told me how to say that last name. And the Chargers took Quentin Johnston, the wide receiver. So there was 2 wide receivers on top of where the Dolphins were to pick. And then the other picks that were taken, you know, you had Anton Harrison going to Jacksonville, no other offensive lineman. In all honesty, right, and the Buffalo Bills traded up, right? It was Giants to Jacksonville to Buffalo. In all honesty, at 25 he was taken. I think if the Dolphins were still sitting there at 21, I really, really, really think they take Dalton Kincaid. I think with Dalton Kincaid still on the board, falling down that far, I think they take Dalton Kincaid, and I think we are set at tight end, and I think everyone's thoughts on this draft would be completely different. I think they take Dalton Kincaid, they still take their corner, they still take the running back, they still take, you know, Higgins, and they still actually, they might not take Higgins, to be honest with you, but they'll still take the tackle. I think, this is what I'm saying. Also, sitting at 21, Jack Campbell in 18. I would have made me so mad. I think that's the pick there. I think Dalton Kincaid would have been the pick there. But again, I thought they would have done a ton of different things, a ton of different ways. So we never know what they would have done. But to me, honestly, Dalton Kincaid. Buffalo traded up for Dalton Kincaid. So I think they probably would have tried to trade up with Seattle to get in front. I think with the Dolphins at 21, a lot of these teams would have traded up to get in front of Miami to try to probably get Dalton Kincaid or try to get anybody that they needed. But yeah, that's what I think. But comment below. What do you think? Dolphins sitting there at 21. Quentin Johnson, Zay Flowers, Jordan Addison, Dante Banks, Dalton Kincaid, Mozzie Smith, Anton Harris, Miles Murphy, Brian Breezy, Nolan Smith, and Felix. I'm not even going to try to pronounce his last name. Those were all taken after. Who do you think Miami would have took? Comment below, and I'll see you guys tomorrow. But like usual, stay classy. FNTop.